Test, test. Ready? Yes, sir. All right, well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Texarkana, Texas City Council. Today is Monday, February the 10th, 2025. I'd like to welcome all of you who are joining us in the audience, as well as those who are joining us online. We have a very large gathering this evening, and we certainly appreciate your attendance. At this time, I want to ask our City Secretary, Jennifer Evans, to provide a roll call. Ms. Evans?
Ms. Hart?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Metter?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Ms. Page?
Here. Here.
We
do have a full council this evening, and our invocation and pledge will be led by Councilmember Jean Matlock, Ward 1. If everyone will please stand.
Will you bow your heads, please? Heavenly Father, we come to you today, thanking you again for your grace and mercy. Lord, we ask that you be with us today. Bless those who are not here, who would like to be here. Bless those who are here in our audience today. Lord, we ask that you give us this wisdom and the knowledge and the compassion to do what is pleasing in your sight. We ask you to continue to bless our city and help us to do things that we know is right. Lord, we give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. These and all other blessings we give in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Thank you very much. Our next item on the agenda this evening will be the recognition of the America 250 plaque donation. And I'm going to turn this over to our city manager, Dr. David Orr, to provide some information in reference to this very generous contribution that has been received by the city. Dr. Orr?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So yesterday, on the screen you can see a recognition ceremony that was held here at City Hall yesterday with the Daughters of American Revolution. And with us in the audience, we have Andrea Williams McCoy, and I think she's going to say a few brief remarks about yesterday's ceremony.
Thank you, David. Mayor, Council, it's an honor to address you this evening. My name is Andrea Williams McCoy, and it's an honor to serve as Vice Regent of the Lone Star Chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution. Our chapter is actually enjoying our 115th year of serving the community. We're one of the oldest DAR chapters in the state of Texas. Yesterday, we had a wonderful ceremony, and I want to start off by thanking your wonderful Historic Preservation Officer, Matt Solomon. There he is. He's hiding. Our ceremony was fantastic, and it was due in large part to Matt working with us. America 250 markers are a program or an initiative that have been put forth by the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution, and it's a way for them to honor our country's 250th anniversary. This marker was the 18th marker placed in the state of Texas. And so we're one of the earliest ones to go up, and we were honored to do that. One of the things we wanted to do with this effort was also to make a local connection on this significant historical event, and that is to tie it to our local people here. There are 59 Revolutionary War veterans buried actually in the state of Texas, and one of them is actually buried here in Bowie County. And his name was Evan Thomas Watson. And he died well before the city of Texarkana was founded in 1834. But again, he was here, and it just shows everyone the wealth of history that Texarkana has been the gateway to, and the many things that happened leading up to its inception. And so we were honored to go ahead and include the provenance on his life, and that's part of the marker and was part of the presentation today, and that was due to a lot of hard work and a lot of research by Matt Solomon. So we want to thank Matt on that very much. Again, it was an honor to serve in this capacity. It was an honor to be a part of the ceremony yesterday. Matt did a wonderful job showcasing all of the historical plaques and markers and maps, and we had a great turnout yesterday. And we welcome the opportunity to support the city and help you guys celebrate. You have a significant anniversary this year, your 100th anniversary of your city hall, and we look forward to having a wonderful year and celebrating that with you. Thank you.
Very good. Well, Andrea, we certainly thank you for being here this evening, and the representatives from DAR for this very, very prestigious plaque that's been presented to the city. It will be displayed in a very prominent location on the first floor near the 3rd Street entrance into the building. And so just once again, thank you all very much for this great contribution, and we'll look forward to proudly displaying it.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
All right, thank you. At this time, we'll have recognition for a very special athlete in our community. It's the 2025 Polynesian Bowl recognition, and we have in the audience this evening Tredarian Ball, who is accompanied with his parents. We also have representing Texas High School, Mr. Ben Renner, who's the principal at Texas High. Mr. Renner, thank you for being here this evening. We also have Coach Eric Sutton, who is Tredarian's position coach, and we also have Brittany Brooks, representing TISD as well. And so Councilmember Page knows a lot about Tredarian, and so I'm going to turn it over to her to provide some additional information, and then we will ask for some remarks from Tredarian, and then we have a special presentation to make after those remarks are made. Councilmember Page?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. I just want to provide a little insight. Tredarian, he is my student at Texas High School. I had the honor and the privilege to be able to attend the Polynesian Bowl in Hawaii with him. It was a great experience for him. He had the opportunity to play in this bowl that is for the top 100 athletes in the country. He's a junior, and he plans to attend Oregon. He's committed, and he will be an early graduate in December. So I feel like the opportunity was, it was an opportunity of a lifetime. He was exposed to the Hawaiian culture. He had the opportunity to experience the food, some of the traditions. He attended a luau. He was able to go to Pearl Harbor. He was able to do some community service at the Shriners Hospital. There were other college athletes such as Travis Hunter. I didn't know all the others. But the kids knew lots of YouTubers. So he really had a great experience. I was able to provide academic support for him while we were there so that he didn't fall behind academically. And I think that's it.
Okay.
So,
very good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Councilmember Page. Appreciate those remarks. Tredarian, if you'll please come forward. And if you don't mind just coming over to the podium where the microphone is and tell us a little bit more about yourself and your sports career and what you're anticipating in the future. And we're glad to have you here this evening with us, along with your family and representatives from the school district. So I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm Tredarian Ball. I attend Texas High School. I play running back position. I'm a 4-star. I'm ranked like 30th in the country. Really blessed to have that and to be in that position. But I'm really happy to participate in the Polynesian Bowl. I feel like it's a great chapter in my life, and I'm really blessed to be a part of that.
Okay, all right. And your future plans?
My future plans is to go to college and make it to the NFL. But if that doesn't work out, I want to be a sports broadcaster.
Okay, all right. And any particular NFL team that you have your eye on? Hopefully not the one about 175 miles down the road, but...
I hate to say it, but I am a Cowboys fan.
Oh, are you? Okay, all right. So,
We don't hate to say it.
well, I am too, and they have really, really struggled recently. So maybe you can add something to that, all right?
Yes,
Bring
sir.
them, put them back on the winning track. So, well, very good. So I'm going to ask, if you don't mind, if you'll come down front here. And do we have the football?
Yeah, you had to sign. You signed the last. You left it?
Okay, we'll go get that. And I'm just going to ask the council to, if you all would come down and join me as well as we make this special presentation.
We got my TV.
Mayor, while we're doing that, I have the privilege of being a volunteer with Texarkana Game Day, and it's fun to watch your highlights. And of course, I know you better as T-ball, and so you definitely have given Texarkana and the surrounding areas something to look at as far as your highlights. So congratulations on the year you had, and looking forward to what you're going to be able to do in the future.
City attorney always comes through. Thank you, Jennifer. Well, Tredarian, on behalf of the Texarkana, Texas City Council, I would like to present to you a football this evening. And all of the council members and myself have signed this football. We ask that you please keep this as a memento. We have Texarkana City Council and today's date listed on there. I also would like to present you with one of our city lapel pins. It matches the seal that you see of our great city, founded in 1873. And we have this pin available. It's worn by the mayor, the city council members. It's also worn by the city staff and also presented to citizens in the community for distinguished service. And in the sports world, you certainly have distinguished service in that. So we are so proud of you with all the accomplishments that you have made here at Texas High, and look forward to much success watching you on the field with the Oregon Ducks. I just wish their uniforms were a little brighter, but anyway, so we'll look forward to that, and just ask that we'll keep you and your family in our prayers in the upcoming days and weeks and months to come, that you'll be safe from injury and you'll be successful with your studies and successful with your career as a hopefully professional athlete. So we certainly hope that you meet that goal. All right? Okay, very good. Did you want your parents to come up and join you in the photo, or will they come up and join you in the photo? Okay, feel free to come on up. Yeah. Mr. Renner and Coach Sutton, if you all would come up too. Pleasure meeting you, sir. We're here, you, sir. Good to have you with us this evening. Coach Sutton, good to see you. How are you, sir? You have another one to do.
56, the first time I've been invited to a city council meeting. That could be a good thing, though.
Okay, we'll step out here just a little bit and right, that's good. There we go.
Squeeze us out.
All right. Everybody got what you need? Okay, all right, good. All right, thank you. Once again, good luck to you, sir. Okay, all right, thank you. All right. Oh, you're proud of it. Yeah. At this time, we'll move along to Mayor's remarks and items of community interest. Just want to remind everyone that our next regularly scheduled City Council meeting will be held on Monday, March the 10th at 6 p.m. And then for our meeting in April, it will be held on Monday, April the 14th at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. Also, as a reminder, we have Run the Line, which is an annual event for Partnership for the Pathway, and we'll talk more about that in just a second. We have that coming up this coming Sunday, February the 16th, and that race will begin at 7:30 a.m., and it will be held downtown on Broad Street at the corner of Texas Boulevard and Broad Street. And so we look forward to Julie Ray John, how many runners do we have signed up thus far? 439. Well, good. And there will be more, I'm sure, who will sign up this week. And so we look forward to that event. And then also on the 27th and 28th of this month, we'll have the annual fishing derby that will be held at 9 a.m. at Spring Lake Park. Additional parks and recreation information can be found on the city's website, and also involving the Perot Theater events coming up. We have the annual Price is Right Live. Will be held on February the 22nd at 3 p.m. and tickets for shows are available at perottheater.org. We also have the 11th annual Arbor Day coming up on March the 1st. Keep Texarkana Beautiful and Texas A&M Forest Service will give away free seedlings at Spring Lake Park Rotary Splash Pad starting at 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. or until all seedlings are gone. And if you're wanting to do that, I encourage you to go early because they usually run out of those seedlings pretty fast. The event will be a drive-through only from the Mall Drive entrance. At this time, move along to our open forum, comments from the public. If there's anyone in the audience this evening who would like to address the council, you're welcome to do so. We do ask that you please complete one of the sheets that you see there on the wall by the door. And if you're here this evening to speak on behalf of one of our public hearing items, then I would ask that you please wait until we get to that particular item. We'd be more than happy to listen to your comments at that time. Ms. Evans, do we have any sheets filled out this evening? Okay, thank you. Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening? All right, not seeing anyone. We'll now move along to our appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Do we have any appointments to boards, commissions, or committees this evening? Mr. Davis?
I've got a reappointment to the Industrial Development Corporation for Patton Tidwell.
Okay, all right, Mr. Tidwell. All right, any others this evening? Okay, very good. All right, hearing none, no additional appointments to boards and commissions and committees. Is there a motion for approval of that one appointment? Motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second? Second. Second by Councilmember Thompson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. I'd like to thank Mr. Patton Tidwell for his contribution and willing to serve on this particular board. Is that a reappointment or appointment? Reappointment, okay. Thank him for his continuous service to that board. At this time, move along to our items for consideration. We do have several items this evening on the consent agenda. Item 1 is to consider approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the City Council held on January the 13th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Item 2 is resolution number 2025-017, accepting the state and local government cybersecurity grant and authorizing the purchase of a vulnerability management solution from Tier 4 Technologies of Texarkana, Texas, utilizing a state of Texas DIR contract in the amount not to exceed $29,612.60, with grant funding of $11,364.27 and matching funds of $18,248.33 included in the Texarkana Water Utilities Technology Funds, Funds 61 and 62. Item number 3, resolution number 2025-019, adopting the Hazard Mitigation Action Plan 5-year update in accordance with FEMA requirements. Item number 4, resolution number 2025-020, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract for the annual audit for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2024 with Forvis Mazars LLP of Rogers, Arkansas, for a total cost not to exceed $170,000, with funds budgeted in the General Fund, Fund 101, and the Texarkana Water Utilities Fund, Funds 61, 62, 71, 81, and 82. Item number 5, resolution number 2025-021, authorizing a repair to the Wright-Patman Water Treatment Plant number 3 low service pump for an amount not to exceed $150,832, with funds budgeted in Utilities 2024-2025 budget in the Lake Texarkana Fund. Item number 6, resolution number 2025-022, authorizing the purchase of 10 warning sirens and related equipment from Omni Warren in an amount not to exceed $486,145.02 through the TIPS Cooperative Purchasing Program with budgeted funds from the General Fund, Fund 101. Item number 7, resolution number 2025-025, authorizing the purchase of an outdoor warning siren command center from Omni Warren in an amount not to exceed $26,445.86 through the TIPS Cooperative Purchasing Program with budgeted funds from the General Fund, Fund 101. Item number 8, ordinance number 2025-026, authorizing sponsorship agreements for 5 ball fields at the Spring Lake Park Swanger Baseball Complex and amending budgeted revenues and expenditures in the donation fund, Fund 117, for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024 and ending September 30th, 2025 in the amount of $100,000 from the sponsor donations. Item number 9, resolution number 2025-027, authorizing the city manager to execute a memorandum of understanding, MOU, between the City of Texarkana, Texas, and the Veterans Services Office with a non-binding yearly financial support amount for veteran services up to $11,060 per year, with funds budgeted in the General Fund, Fund 101. Item number 10, ordinance number 2025-028, amending budgeted expenditures for the General Fund, Fund 101, and adding the amount of $6,948,937.27 for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024, and ending September 30th, 2025, for expenditures budgeted in an unspent in the preceding fiscal year. Item number 11, resolution number 2025-032, approving the police department's application for the fiscal year 2025 State Homeland Security Grant. Item number 12, resolution number 2025-033, approving the police department's application for the fiscal year 2026 Rifle Resistant Body Armor Grant Program. Item number 13, resolution number 2025-034, authorizing the 2025 Homeland Security Grant application for the Thermal Imaging Camera Project with grant funds not to exceed $28,117.84. Unless a council member would like to pull one or more items for further consideration, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as it has been presented. Is there a motion for approval? We have a motion by Councilmember Hart, a second by Councilmember Page. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The consent agenda has been approved. We'll now move along to our action items. We have 3 action items this evening. Item 14 is resolution number 2025-001, naming the Bringle Lake Park Trail as the John and Julie Ray Harrison Trail. And we have both John and Julie Ray Harrison with us this evening. And as I mentioned at our last council meeting, they have been instrumental in forming Partnership for the Pathways, 15, 16 years ago? Is that about 18 years ago, all right? And so they have been instrumental in raising funds and raising awareness in our community, both on the Texas side and the Arkansas side, for the continuation of pathways and trails throughout our city. And so we feel like it's very fitting that they be recognized by naming the Bringle Lake Park Trail as the John and Julie Ray Harrison Trail for their dedicated service for this cause. And John, Julie Ray, if you have anything that you all would like to share, I'll be more than happy to turn the floor over to you for your comments. If you don't mind, if you all will please state your names for the record.
John Harrison.
Julie Ray Harrison.
Thank you for having us tonight. We really appreciate it. You know, last time we were here, last month, we really felt like that it was a special occasion, and this is truly that. We never thought a trail would ever be named for us, I mean, quite frankly. But it's an honor, it's a privilege, and we had a lot of help. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you all the people. Robbie Robertson's back here. John Cook back there in the back row, he was with us early on. David Orr, thinking about David and all the help he's been. When something comes up, we try to talk about it, figure out a way to put some of our money with some of their money and try to make a trail work. And if we see an opportunity, or David sees an opportunity for a trail to go in somewhere, we want to put some asphalt on the ground. And we think that the Spring Lake Park Philip McDougall Trail is a fine example of a trail that people use. Is when we drive through that park, if we're having a little bit of a down day and we see all those people out there walking on that trail, it does our heart good. So, Julie Ray, would you like to say something?
Well, just very briefly, let me say that this has really been an honor for us to have an opportunity to participate within this, and being able to bring some of this up to the people in the community as to what's available to them, and hopefully help to provide places for them to safely walk, ride bicycles, run, so forth.
We really thank you all for this honor, and thank each and every one of you. It takes a village to build trails, and we know that y'all are all part of that village. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. I think
Thank
they
y'all.
deserve a round of applause. So. John and Julie Ray and their group they've been so nice to invite the mayors to come to when the race starts. We fire shotguns. They tell us the guns have blanks in them, so we take their word for that, and I haven't injured anyone yet, so I always look forward to going down on an early Sunday morning to do that. So thank you for allowing us to participate in doing that for these many years. Okay? All right. Unless, does that wake you up? Okay. All right, so. They are loud, so anyway, okay, so at this time, is there a motion for the resolution to be passed?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second? Second. We have a second by Councilmember Thompson. This item is a resolution, so there's not a caption. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes. So John and Julie Ray, congratulations. And I will add that we will have some upcoming additional festivities in reference to this, and so just stay tuned for that. We'll get some information out in the very near future and do a formal ribbon cutting and some other recognition, so just stay tuned for that. So once again, thank you all for being here. All right. Okay. Item number 15 is resolution number 2025-002, authorizing the city manager to accept an enterprise agreement proposal from SHI Government Solutions of Austin, Texas, for Microsoft licenses for the Texarkana water utilities, utilizing Texas State DIR pricing with funds budgeted in the TW Technology Fund totaling $161,526.96 over 3 years, with the Texas portion totaling $93,346.43 over 3 years. And we have Brandon Usselton with us this evening from TW Technology or IT department. So Brandon, thank you for being here and look forward to your remarks, sir.
Mayor, members of council, as you remember last month, you passed a resolution for the Microsoft Enterprise Agreement for the Texas side, and this is the same agreement for the water utility. City of Texarkana, Arkansas passed the agreement at their last board meeting. There are no new updates based off of my last briefing. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Brandon? Okay, all right, thank you, sir. Appreciate the information. All right, any other questions or comments from the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the resolution. Is there a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Page. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes unanimously. Brandon, thanks again for being here this evening. At this time, we'll move along to item number 16, resolution number 2025-013, authorizing the Texarkana Airport Executive Director to execute an agreement with McClellan Engineering for runway 4-22, strengthening design in the amount of $502,203.20, approved in the Texarkana Regional Airport fiscal year 2024 capital budget. And we have our airport director, Mr. Paul Merlick, here this evening to provide some information on this item. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening. So Dr. Orr and myself have been talking about, since this project is a fairly large project that will have lots of pieces coming to you over the next few months, especially within our line of credit. We've prepared for you a one-page document to kind of understand the funding mechanism and all the pieces that are going to this, because this is going to be kind of that first piece, but we'll still have taxiways, we'll have aprons, we're going to have to do site development for the hangars. So we've given that to you. If any of you would like a chance to sit down, I can answer any questions that you have and kind of go over the entire project with you. We realize there's going to be a lot of little pieces, so we don't want there to be confusion. But if there were any questions tonight on this portion, otherwise I'll let you have it.
Okay. Any questions for Paul relating to this item this evening? Okay, thank you, Paul. Appreciate your comments. All right, is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second? Second. Second by Councilmember Thompson. Is that who I heard?
Yep.
Okay, Councilmember Thompson. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes. We'll now move along to our first briefings portion of the agenda. Item 1 is ordinance number 2025-029, closing and abandoning a 20-foot alley right-of-way and retaining a utility easement in its place in Block 1 of the Buchanan Avenue addition. And we have Mr. Jonathan Wade to brief us on this item. Good evening, Jonathan.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Jonathan Wade, City Engineer, Public Works. The city received a request from TDC General Contractors and Pastor James Hawkins of St. John's Baptist Church for the abandonment of a 20-foot alley right-of-way located in Block 1 Buchanan Avenue addition. If this alley right-of-way is abandoned, then by policy, all right-of-way will be given to adjacent landowners. City sent out a memo to respective city departments and utility departments. Utilities requested that a 20-foot utility easement be retained within the alley right-of-way. Attached in the packet is the memorandum and the utility responses. If there are no questions or comments, then staff would recommend approval.
I do have a question.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes, sir.
So all the adjacent landowners are in agreement to accept the property? Take it over?
We have reached out to many of the landowners. So far, everyone has been in agreement. We'll also be sending out abandonment release forms as well upon approval. That will get that recorded at the courthouse as well.
I'm concerned about the liability that, if any, that the landowners would assume by taking that on.
Yes, sir.
Additional taxes, will they be subject to additional taxes? Lot size increases, I assume they would be.
Yes, I believe based on the market value of the
Right.
additional
Yeah.
right-of-way.
Okay.
Thank you, Thompson. Any other questions or comments?
Does the easement for the utilities remaining, is that going to impede what their intentions are with this property?
I believe the requesters of the abandonment have several alternatives that they are looking into. And one of those would involve the usage of the right-of-way, but I believe they have other design options that they have factored into it, just in case. They have been working with utility companies to figure out a plan for the intended property.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Jonathan. All right, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Council, items 2 and 3 upcoming are related, so I'm going to go ahead and read the caption for both of those, and then Michelle Daniel will be briefing us on these 2 items. Item number 2 is ordinance number 2025-030, rezoning an approximate 2.408 acre tract of land, being tract 10C, West Texarkana, GDN, located at 921 West Lawn Drive. It's in Ward 2, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, Maria Rodriguez, owner, Julieta Rosas, agent. Item number 3 is ordinance number 2025-031, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a double-wide HUD code manufactured home on an approximate 2.408 acre tract of land, being Tract 10C, West Texarkana, GDN, located at 921 West Lawn Drive, Ward 2. Maria Rodriguez, owner, Julieta Rosas, agent. Good evening, Michelle.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. So as you said, this is a request to rezone 921 West Lawn Drive from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, and for a specific use permit for the placement of a double-wide HUD code manufactured home on the property. The property is currently vacant land. The future land use map has designated this property as regional commercial. The adjacent zoning is office to the west, 2-family 1 to the east, multiple family 1 to the north, and single family 2 to the south. The adjacent land use is an insurance office to the west, apartments to the north, and vacant land to the east and south. Planning and zoning do recommend for approval of this request with stipulations that all codes and ordinances are followed, and I will be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Michelle on items 2 and 3? Okay, very good, thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we move along to our public hearings portion of the agenda. Item number 1 is ordinance number 2025-003, granting a specific use permit to allow the one additional use of tattooing on lots 18, 19, west half of 20, Block 4, T.B. Moore's addition, located at 911 New Boston Road, Hunter McCarver, owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If there's anyone who would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record.
Hunter McCarver. This is just a change of ownership. Business will stay the same as it has since 1992.
Okay, all right, thank you, Mr. McCarver. Any questions by the council for Mr. McCarver? Okay, all right, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Public hearing is still open on this item. If there's anyone else who would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward. Not seeing anyone else coming forward at this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Page. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Matlock. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-801 to allow one additional use of a tattoo studio on lots 18, 19, and west half of 20, Block 4, T.B. Moore's addition, located at 911 New Boston Road in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes unanimously. Item number 2 is ordinance number 2025-004, granting a specific use permit to allow one additional use of allowing special use of tattooing on lots 34 through 36, Block 22, R.S. Bearden Boulevard addition, located at 2415 Texas Boulevard. Kurt Green, owner. Kiana Stevens, agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance? We have a motion by Councilmember Hart. We have a second by Councilmember Davis. Ms. Evans, the caption.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-802 to allow one additional use of a tattoo studio on lots 34 to 36, Block 22, R.S. Bearden Boulevard, addition, located at 2415 Texas Boulevard in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 3, ordinance number 2025-005, rezoning lots 16 through 18, Block 8, Red Cut Heights Edition, located at 2501 Neff Street, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, Kimberly Burns, owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance? We have a motion by Councilmember Page. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Matlock. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Texarkana, Texas, by rezoning on lots 16 to 18, Block 8, Red Cut Heights Edition, located at 2501 Neff Street in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 4, ordinance number 2025-006, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a double-wide HUD code manufactured home on lots 16 through 18, Block 8, Red Cut Heights Edition, located at 2501 Neff Street, Kimberly Burns, owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock and a second by Councilmember Hart. Ms. Evans, the caption.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-803 to allow the location of a double-wide HUD code manufactured home on lots 16 to 18, Block 8, Red Cut Heights Edition, located at 2501 Neff in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 5, ordinance number 2025-007, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a single-wide HUD code manufactured home on an approximate .87 acre tract of land, being Tract 35, MEP&P Railway Company, HRS A-434, located at 1002 Hatton Street, Georgia. Trotter, owner. Carl Preston, agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. This time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Metter. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-804 to allow the location of a single-wide HUD code manufactured home on an approximate 0.87 acre tract of land, being Tract 35, MEP&P Railway Company, HRS A-434, located at 1002 Hatton Street in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 6, ordinance number 2025-016, rezoning on Lot 1, Moores Lane Business Park, located at 1521 Moores Lane, from agriculture plan development, commercial, to single family 1, plan development, commercial. Emmanuel Sanchez, owner, and Jeffrey Wood, MTG Engineers and Surveyors agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
We need a motion.
I'm sorry, we need a motion. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Metter, second by Councilmember Page. Ms. Evans?
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Texarkana, Texas, by rezoning on Lot 1, Moores Lane Business Park, located at 1521 Moores Lane in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, from agriculture plan development commercial to single-family 1 plan development commercial, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 7, resolution number 2025-024, authorizing support for a Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs housing tax credit development application for Landmark on Pine, located at 301 to 319 Pine Street for senior housing. And I'm going to turn it over to Vachille Fernandez to provide additional information. And we do have this scheduled council this evening for public hearing as well as council vote. And I believe we have April Engstrom with us from Overland Property Group. And we want to thank you for being with us this evening, for your time and effort as well. So, Vachille, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. In January, we received a request for a resolution of support for the Overland Property Group as their application for the TDHCA Competitive Housing Tax Credit Program and potentially a multifamily direct loan program. And so their project they're looking at is called Landmark on Pine, which would be located at 309 to 319 Pine Street. So this development will include mixed income property, would be a mixed income property of both affordable housing and some market rate units that will serve seniors. And the proposed development will be an adaptive reuse of an existing historic structure. And this property contributes to the city's effort to revitalize our downtown, which is outlined in our comprehensive plan that we adopted in 2018. The total unit count is approximately about 40 units, and those details will be finalized in the design process, but staff is in support of this project. And as you mentioned, Miss April Engstrom is here. She has a presentation to give you some more information on their company and some of the work that they've done.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Vachille. Ms. Engstrom, once again, we welcome you this evening.
Thank you. Good evening, Council and Mayor. It's good to be here, and I was a little happy to leave Kansas City after our performance last night. So, but anyway, let's see if I know how to do this. Okay. Yep, like I said, my name's April. I'm with Overland Property Group. We are a residential housing firm that's been in business since 2002. And we first started in the Midwest and then branched out to Colorado and into Texas in 2011. And since then, we've developed our largest footprint here. So the buildings that we're talking about today or tonight are the former Sears building and the former Gazette building. And this is what it looks like today, or at least a couple months ago. And then this is what our architect came up with, our intended end vision for this block. It is, it occupies that full block of Pine Street, and so we think the impact would be pretty substantial. Like I said, just a little about us. We've, since 2002, developed over 76 properties across the Midwest, Colorado, Texas. And in 2015, we got into historic preservation, historic adaptive reuse developments. Now, I'm missing some text here, but this is pretty much to say that we do it all. We work with third-party general contractors that we've worked with for the last 20 years. And then we oversee our property management companies as well. And then just a few photos of our properties. So, got the wrong street name here. Pine Street, 301 to 319 Pine Street. We do a lot of new construction, but I'm really personally passionate about historic architecture, old buildings, antiques, just old things across the board. And so the cool part about my job is that I am able to sort of seek out these buildings that I think might qualify for a historic designation on the National Register. So we have our historic consultants that we work with, and I send them cool old buildings I find, and they tell me, yes, we think this is historically significant, or no, maybe not. And when I showed them these buildings, they were excited for the opportunity to work on them. So this is the the outline of the property that we'd be working with. And we would be doing housing for seniors, which is a term that my mom really resents because it's really just 55 and up. And we're looking at about 38 to 40 units. These buildings are really interesting because we do have to work within the confines of the historic parameters that National Park Services ultimately dictates. And with buildings like these where we don't have original floor plans, it takes a little extra time to have them laser measured, and then for our architects to work with our historic consultants to determine where we can and can't put walls or units or things like that. But we're thinking between 35 and 40, probably 38 and 40 units. Currently, we have 26 one-bedrooms planned and 12 two-bedrooms planned, but of course that right now is a little bit in flux. And we do utilize housing tax credits as well as the historic tax credits. And so we find with these historic buildings, they're often a little, I want to call them cumbersome, but they take a little bit of extra time and effort as far as environmental remediation goes, the historic process. So we are uniquely positioned to be able to do these historic rehabs by layering those different financing mechanisms. Ultimately, bare minimum, we'd be looking at a $7.6 million renovation budget, with the total development budget being at least $12.5 million. And our timeline, development is never quick. If you're dealing with the federal and state government, maybe even a little slower. So we are submitting our application for housing tax credits on February 28th. We'll find out if we're awarded those tax credits at the end of July. And then at that point, we can go full steam ahead on our plans. With something like this, we think it has a really excellent shot at funding. So there's a strong likelihood we start our due diligence and our closing process a little prematurely so we can just get on top of things as quickly as possible. And then as soon as we receive the historic approval of our plans, then we're able to close on financing, so long as we have building permit approval. And then construction is usually a 12 to 15 month long timeline. So right now, if we were, let's see, I'm off 1 year there. If all went according to plan, we'd be looking at completion around 6/1/2027. And then just some more about our qualifications as far as our historic preservation work goes. We've won some awards for our historic preservation as well, a lot of which are downtown, which is the cool thing. So I just have some before and after pictures. We just opened this old elementary school and completed construction in November and December. Those are some befores and then after. And the cool thing about these developments is at the end of the day, they're all in the National Register of Historic Places. And in a city like Texarkana, this is kind of, when I first drove in for the first time to see these buildings, I was really excited to see the downtown and the gold mine of historic architecture that it is. I work and drive all over Texas, and not every city has been able to keep, for whatever reason, their historic buildings. You see a lot of demo and new construction, but Texarkana is kind of a gold mine for these buildings. And then this was our first historic redevelopment. We have one in downtown Wichita Falls. We have a couple in Salina, Kansas, which is where we were founded and where we still have an office today. Or before and afters, another schoolhouse. We also just completed this one in August, a big old hospital in Conroe, Texas. So that's about it. Does anyone have any questions?
So what are your plans for parking? I know there's an existing parking lot that's kind of behind the Gazette building. Yep. Is that going to be sufficient or not, or?
That I leave to our architects. No, that's a good question. We are acquiring that full parking lot behind the building. I think right now it probably fits close to 40 parking spots. But if we need to get creative, we will. And, we'll work with Veshiel and the planning department to make sure that we're code compliant. The thing is that, while this property is technically zoned to permit multifamily housing, of course, we still go through the whole building permit process. So don't do anything without the green light from the city.
Any questions by the council relating to this project? Okay, well, yeah,
Thank you.
as we
Thanks. Me too.
continue with our downtown redevelopment, so
Yeah.
it's
Great.
another good opportunity. So,
Thank
okay.
you.
All right. Anything else that you would like to share?
Well, I just want to say thank you for having me tonight. It's really nice to work with cities who are welcoming and who care about historic preservation. I love to see it. So.
Okay, well, Ms. Ingstrom, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
being here this evening. And, you know, our staff here is always very, very accommodating. So I know that you already know this, but anything that you need or information, they'll be more than happy to provide that and have up to this point as well. So
Yes. Yeah. No, they've been great to work with so far. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you. Hope you have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. All right. At this time, we'll have the public hearing on this item. So at this time, if there's anyone who would like to address the council relating to this resolution 2025-024, if you'll please come forward at this time and state your name for the record. Okay, not seeing anyone coming forward. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the resolution. Do I have a motion? We have a motion by Councilmember Hart and a second by Councilmember Page. Once again, this is a resolution, so there's not a caption. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The resolution passes. All right, at this time, we'll move along to our city manager's report. Dr. Orr.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a few updates to pass along to you tonight. First off, we have our annual 2024 annual report is now available. And a big thanks to Brookstone for compiling and designing this year's report. The report includes information on our sales tax, on property tax, on our MyGov staff metrics, new businesses, and a look ahead to 2025. So this report is available at the link on the screen. It's also, we have copies, paper copies at City Hall as well. In addition to that report, we also have our fourth quarter economic development report that's out. And so this includes information on new developments, planned retail, commercial, construction permits, residential permits, and much more. Of course, the big news from this past quarter was the November opening of the lofts at Hotel Grimm and this $42 million project downtown. And so there's a link as well for more information on our economic development webpage for that report. The Youth Advisory Council had the opportunity to attend TML Youth Advisory Summit just a few weekends ago on February 1st, where they engaged with professional development, networking with other youth leaders around the state. Big thank you to Councilmember Matlock and TIAC liaison Chiquita Burks for attending this year's summit. And TIAC members will be here at a future meeting to present to the council and to also tell more about their plans for this upcoming year. But just a couple of save the dates as well to pass along. We're hosting the Caddo Conference for the first time in Texarkana, Texas. It's coming up on Friday and Saturday, February 21st and 22nd at the Convention Center. And it's part of our efforts to work with the Caddo Nation and the MOU that was signed several years ago. Additionally, we have a save the date for a February council workshop. And I think information's been sent out by our city secretary on that. That's Monday, February 24th. We'll have some topics on code enforcement, building inspections, and then some ordinance changes with that. We'll also have a virtual link as well that will be available for that. And then want to note that our Parks Master Plan, which was originally scheduled for tomorrow, has been rescheduled. And that's due to our consultant. We're having some changes need to be made. And so we're going to reschedule that for March 25th at the Convention Center, same time at 6:30 p.m. So there'll be more information sent out about that rescheduling. And then just a couple of council documents. Paul mentioned earlier about the airport capital funding summary that's in your packet. And then also, too, you have a copy of the 2024 LifeNet annual report as well that's at your desk. And final, I want to recognize Chief Black. There was 2 agenda items on your consent agenda that you approved tonight that just wanted to note that these 2 projects took years in the making, and it was really thanks to Chief Black and his leadership. One is the warning sirens project. To say that our warning sirens were a patchwork would be an understatement. And so that project will bring everything into full compliance and everything into the 21st century with our new warning siren system. And the second item was our hazard mitigation plan that you approved. And again, that's been ongoing for at least 5 years, if not longer, to approve that hazard mitigation plan to make us eligible for FEMA funding and for other funding sources. So just want to recognize Chief Black and his team for their efforts on those two projects. That's all.
Okay, all right, very good. Thank you, David. We'll now move along to administrative comments. Any comments from the council this evening to the staff? Okay, if not, any other comments from staff to council this evening? Okay. This time the council will convene into closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with city attorney, and Section 551.074, personnel matters. We don't anticipate any action to be taken by the council other than to reconvene into open session and to adjourn our meeting. So appropriate this time, Ms. Evans and Dr. Orr, for the live stream to discontinue. Okay, so once again, I want to thank everyone for being here with us this evening, the audience, and those who have joined us online. At this time, we will go ahead and end our live stream and certainly hope that everyone has a great evening. So thank you very much.